Timmy No Brakes talking to Tim Butterly. Matt McCuster's wife walks up to Timmy No Brakes and just fucking clocks him, dude.
You know what's in the air. 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 It's possibility. It's possibility. It's possibility. It's possibility.
All right, so just some silliness today. There was some drama surrounding an episode of Story Warz. This is a relatively recent comedy podcast that's kind of set up like a game show, and they have contestants, random comedians come and do it. And they had this guy who is a regular on Kill Tony, apparently, some character type of comedian, if you can call him that, up with Matt McCusker and also randomly one of the actors from The Sopranos, one of the kids. So that was the panel, along with Louis J. Gomez and Big J. Okerson. And this guy from Kill Tony, who Tony Hinchcliffe was actually there, ironically. This whole thing took place at the Mothership. And Tony is there. Maybe he's the reason this No Brakes guy got on here. I don't know. But in typical Kill Tony fashion, he essentially just kind of defaults to racist jokes directed at Matt McCusker's wife. So Matt McCusker is the friend of Shane Gillis. They host a podcast together. I've actually talked about him on this podcast one other time. And the only other time I've mentioned him, his wife also came up in that conversation. So it's a known thing that he's married to a black woman. And I think he gets teased about that, whatever. There are racist jokes made about it. I've never heard anything super crazy. But for some reason, in this game show, Timmy No Brakes decides to kind of go for that over and over again. Which, to be fair, in the context of this show, I've seen a few episodes of it, isn't really that out of the ordinary. I mean, they do go for jokes like that. Sometimes it can get pretty harsh. This is sort of an offshoot of the Legion of Skanks stuff that also comes from Louis J. Gomez, which has always had that sort of edgy, racist, sexist aspect to it. So that is kind of the vibe of the show. And during the show, it doesn't seem like there's that much of a reaction to it. I mean, Matt McCusker seems a little bit off-put by what he's saying, but also kind of seems to go along with it. But they're also hinting that, you're going to have to deal with his wife once you get off stage. And it seems like that's exactly what happened, because Matt McCusker's wife apparently clocked this guy in the face in the green room of the Mothership after this. So, but really this Timmy No Brakes guy is just not very funny at all. And I think he has a nickname, Timmy No Jokes. So you'll get a sense of why he has that nickname, as well as why that ended up getting him punched in the face, I suppose. So here is the episode of Story Warz.
McCusker is genuinely autistic. There's a chance that he just doesn't feel things when people have emotions in front of him. I met his wife backstage. She's a bitch. I gotta be honest with you. She was so mean. It was insane.
That's crazy to say.
Yeah, because she's black, you fucking racist piece of shit.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Matt,
Chelsea Handler was right about you.
I'm trying to get on the next roast at Netflix.
Monster deflection.
Matt, how did your wife feel about my George Floyd joke at the roast? Did she say
I don't think she
anything?
heard it.
Okay, perfect. It was written for me by a writer.
Timmy No Brakes.
I'm plugging Matt's wife.
Boo!
Hey, work's work.
Yeah, I get paid.
Big J. Okerson.
Why don't you plug you just did the Intuit Dome. Why don't you plug your appearance on Kill Tony at the Intuit Dome?
Where I bombed? Don't watch the episode that comes out at the Intuit Dome. Do not watch that episode.
Tony Hinchcliffe.
Don't kiss my fucking ass now. Shut up.
I said I'm gonna fuck his wife after the show. That's what I said. I didn't say anything but that. Okay, Louis.
Take it away,
I
Louis.
didn't apologize as myself. I said I'm fucking your wife after the show. Okay.
And my new stand-up special, which is probably in the news right now when this comes out, because I do a George Floyd joke on it. Comes out June 9th, so that's probably out already. So go watch that and leave a good review on Yelp or something. We're going to be in big trouble. Refused to go with my significant other to visit their dad in jail.
Now, I would think Big J, because he hasn't had a story, but Matt's wife is black.
You guys are both half Puerto Ricans?
Yeah.
Why do you read so Puerto Rican?
Reading Puerto Rican means you can't read.
Yeah.
It's a pretty dominant gene they have.
No shit.
Significant other. I just met Jamie's husband backstage.
Actually, put one more thing out there
Sure.
for Matt. Okay, so obviously his wife's dad abandoned her, right? And he doesn't. Sorry.
Oh, that guy had enough.
Sit down, sir. Sit
Real
down.
nice, Timmy.
Come on, buddy. Come back. It's okay.
Come on, dude. So what?
Let's
Man,
cut
all
that.
kinds
Let's
of
fucking
colored
cut that.
people go to jail.
Holy shit. So yeah, we're not gonna wager. Just you guys are gonna wager. And you don't tell us. You don't tell each other.
I'm playing for your wife. I've
What's it
literally
good?
never met your wife. I've never said a word to her. I feel so.
No, you can't take it back now.
You're gonna have to face her out there.
I thought I would be able to see her, but I guess not.
Wow.
All right, so yeah, it seems like he goes for that joke at one point. At the beginning, that's when they're doing the plugs. So they're all plugging like what they're doing lately, and he randomly just decides to say, "I'm plugging Matt McCusker's wife." Also, Louis J. Gomez mentions earlier that she's kind of a bitch. I don't know. I mean, he's just kind of a dick. Honestly, this whole show was invented by him and is a reasonably entertaining show, but not because of him. He's not a very good comedian, Louis J. Gomez. And also, it kind of just drags the show down with being like sexist the whole time or talking about beating women or whatever. I mean, it's common running jokes with these guys. It's almost pointless to point it out. It's sort of the point of what they do. But at the same time, Louis J. Gomez seems to consistently just have like attractive women comedians on the panel just so he can hit on them, which is a terrible approach. Like, the bigger this show gets, the more of a liability that's inevitably going to become. I predict eventually there will be some kind of drama over that specifically. Although these guys have carved out a space for themselves where they feel like they can kind of get away with stuff like that, say whatever they want. And in large part, they can. You know, that's the point of the Comedy Mothership. And it is becoming not only a hotspot for comedy in Austin, but also this sort of cesspool of racist jokes, sexist jokes, bad material, mean-spirited material. You really see that with Tony Hinchcliffe, who consistently just goes for bad racist jokes. He's doing this whole thing about Puerto Ricans here. You know, it's just not funny. So much of this stuff is not funny. And I think Mr. Timmy No Brakes here is a good example of that as well. I don't know why he decided during the plugs part to go after Matt's wife. It seems like it's all in good fun for the most part, except for the fact that these guys don't really seem to know each other. And the vibe from the beginning, from the moment he said this on through the rest of it, the vibe is like, okay, you know, I'm going to laugh along on stage, but she's not going to be happy that you're saying this. And then throughout the rest of the episode, he kind of just keeps digging himself a bigger hole. So I think that part of the dynamic of what's going on here, it's part and parcel of the whole Rogan sphere and Kill Tony and all of the offshoots of it, which is that it's promoting a lot of talent that isn't very talented. And in the project of creating this more right-leaning, more freedom of speech-oriented comedy scene, what they've done is they've opened the door to a lot of comedians who are willing to lean on stuff like that, that aren't very good at it. And it, I think, has fostered, at least in some cases, audiences that are more primed for that type of like lowbrow, low-hanging fruit material rather than anything thoughtful or interesting. And that comfort zone is what allows Tony Hinchcliffe to put out the garbage special that he recently put out. Again, just leaning on racial tropes and kind of using the harshness and the crassness of that. And what Kill Tony has made a habit of doing, the show, is boosting these comedians, these character type comedians who are kind of one-trick ponies, don't have a lot of material. They blow up because they do a minute or two on Kill Tony. They perform well in sort of the format of the show. And then all of a sudden, they have audiences that are demanding them or will show up for them, or they have a little bit more clout. So they start getting booked places, and they can't really hold up that well because they're not like seasoned, tested comedians. So I think by now they must see this pattern happening because it's happened so many times. There's a guy like named Willie or something like that who screams a lot, David Lucas is another comedian who put out a special that was just really, really bad. There's a bunch of them. And so this guy doing sort of an Andrew Dice Clay impression, but with even worse material. Like, this guy doesn't even have jokes. He's not really coming to the table with anything thoughtful here. And it seems like he realized throughout the show that, like, he didn't have a lot. He was kind of bombing and was trying to just think of anything interesting to say. And it was just landing on these bad racist jokes, which, again, I mean, stupid jokes that don't go over well. It's kind of just a part of this type of show, but there's a lingering aspect to it where it's like, well, if you make fun of the wrong person or make racist jokes about the wrong person, there might actually be consequences for that. So here is a random podcast where this was discussed. I guess this happened a couple weeks ago, and the Story Warz episode has only just now come out, so there was some chatter about this on Reddit and whatnot. And then finally, people are actually getting to see the material that annoyed Matt McCusker's wife to the point that she apparently punched this guy, Timmy No Brakes, right in the face. So here is Sam Tripoli, another comedian who has been on Story Warz, talking about that with some random podcast guy who I don't know.
So I changed my flight so I could go do Story Warz. Full disclosure, didn't go well. I didn't have a great set.
By the way, people got actively mad that I didn't know what Story Warz. They were like, "Why are you lying, Johnny? You don't know."
Yeah, Johnny, why are you a piece of shit?
Never heard of it.
Why are you a piece of shit, Johnny? So, anyways, Louis J. Gomez is like, show up by 9:45. So I had to change my flight to get in there earlier. I get in around 4. I head over around 9. I get to it. I'm like, they still don't know me, the security. So I'm like, I'm in the show. They're like, okay, go up. I'm Sam Tripoli. I'm in the show. You go upstairs. I go into the green room. It's packed. These are skanks, Joe Rogan's crew. Everybody's in there. Rogan isn't there, but everybody else is there. Tim Butterly's there. Timmy No Brakes there. And I go sit down. Tony comes in. We hug. We talk. Matt McCusker comes in.
Wait, Timmy No Brakes. Is that Timmy No Dice? Is that the same guy?
No. Yeah, well, yeah, that's basically the same guy. Nice guy. So there's frantic energy. Now, I never met Matt McCusker face to face. I don't think so. So I wanted to introduce myself to him.
Okay.
And the room is just chaotic.
Where is this? Texas?
This is in the green room of the mothership.
Okay.
So I go up there. I go up to Matt. He's talking to Tim Butterly, and I'm like, "Hey, man, hi, I'm Sam Tripoli. I want to introduce you." He shakes my hand and walks off. I'm like, "Okay, that's fine."
What do you mean? Like, didn't say anything? Just walked
He
off?
just said, "Hey," and walks off.
Okay.
But let me tell the story before you get upset about it, dude.
Okay.
So I go sit down. I go, okay, I don't know what's going on. So anyways, I start looking around at the green room, and I notice it's really crazy energy. Like something just went down. Right. So I start listening, and Tim Butterly can't stop laughing. So supposedly what happened was we were in the second Story Warz. The first Story Warz, Timmy No Brakes, Matt McCusker are on the panel with a chick. I can't remember who was. But anyways, Timmy No Brakes is making jokes about Matt McCusker's black wife. And Matt is like, dude, you're going to get punched in the face, dude. If you keep doing this, you're going to get punched in the face. And he I don't know how long it lasted, but he made a couple jokes. Anyways, afterwards, Tim Butterly.
On the show.
On Story Warz.
Okay.
Afterwards, Timmy No Brakes and Tim Butterly are talking in the hallway at the comedy Mothership when fucking, dude, I normally wouldn't tell these stories, but it's so fucking funny.
Okay.
So Timmy No Brakes talking to Tim Butterly. Matt McCuster's wife walks up to Timmy No Brakes and just fucking clocks him, dude. Clocks him. Full clock, bro.
Really?
Clocks him, dude. Bang. She used to be a cop, dude. She's very pretty. Used to be a cop. She gets boom and just full gets him, dude. Hits him. He's kind of shocked. They break it up. He's up there at the top. He's in the green room going, I'm like, what the fuck just happened? He goes, I've never been hit in the, he didn't say this to me, but he's saying it to everybody else. He's like, I've never been punched in the face before. And I'm like, oh, so it's a good thing. This is a good thing for you. It's great to get punched in the face once in a while. So you know there's consequences to your actions. And everyone just couldn't believe it. I guess the next day they made up. But it was the funniest story I've ever heard. Everyone could not stop laughing that fucking Matt McCuster's wife just clocked Timmy No Brakes.
Do you think she thought it was going to be like the movies and he would just fall down dead, basically?
Listen, I got nothing but love for Matt McCusker, and his wife is badass. I mean, dude, he's like, dude, my jaw hurts. I was like, so next night I did my thing. He's there. I'm like, what's up, dude? And I made a apology to him because I was one of those old heads that was like, he's doing dice. He goes, I get it, dude. I totally get it. I go, I'm sorry. You're a really nice guy. He goes, I'm sorry we had to meet after I got punched in the fucking face. So, yeah, dude, that's it. He got fucking Waffle House, dude. He got fucking Waffle House.
So crazy, dude. I bet she thought his head was going to explode like in the movies.
I mean, dude, if she used to be a cop, she can fucking throw, dude. Fucking,
yeah. I mean,
can throw.
It sounds like she cheap shot at a guy in the face in the hallway.
Nah, dude, it was a great. Hey, dude, he's better for it.
Yeah,
he's better for it.
You
so that's the story, dude.
I don't think you should sucker punch people in the face. And,
I don't know.
And as a woman, you know there are no consequences to you.
Yeah, I mean, dude, nothing, dude. He learned a lesson.
I feel like if this was any other situation, you would be saying what I'm saying. But
yes, totally. But I thought it was funny.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Don't get me wrong. It's amazing, but that's shitty. You shouldn't go around punching people for telling.
So I had to come back and tell. I'm sure I'm gonna get in trouble for telling because I haven't heard anyone tell the story yet. Anywhere.
All right, so there's a few things going on here. First of all, there's the obvious thing that I don't think that any of the jokes that this guy made on the original panel were like that bad. Certainly Tony Hinchcliffe, Shane Gillis in recent memory have made worse jokes about black people. Even here, they were throwing around, George Floyd jokes that were pretty whack, but not directly connected to his wife. But it all kind of fucking ties together. And you have to ask, right? Like, how much can the wife of a guy like Matt McCusker tolerate constantly being the subject of derision or jokes, racist jokes, sexist jokes, all kinds of stuff? Obviously, it's a thing that people fixate in regards to him, but it just makes me wonder, to what extent is that a source of tension? And the fact that she was pissed off enough about these jokes to catch the guy slipping in the hallway and punch him in the face when apparently he, nothing like that had ever happened to him before. I do think it's kind of the intersection of two things at once, which is, yes, make whatever jokes you want. It's a comedy show. You're a comedian. People shouldn't get punched over jokes. Boo-hoo. But at the same time, the things you say matter. And if you're talking about somebody who's not a comedian, kind of all bets are off. If you make jokes about another comedian and they punch you over it, those got to be some pretty serious jokes. But I can understand how somebody who is just the spouse of somebody who's a comedian, somebody who did not make the decision to go into comedy as a career, being a subject not only of jokes but racist jokes on a pretty large platform, I can understand how that person might be pissed off enough to throw a couple punches. So good for her, honestly, because I do think there needs to be some regulation in this Austin comedy scene. Ironically, I think that's the solution. There needs to be, every now and then a hack like this needs to get punched in the face. Because again, these are not good jokes. It's not good material we're talking about. This is not a seasoned comedian who's really good at this, has a career. This guy is kind of a newbie and not bringing a lot to the table intellectually or otherwise. So yeah, I mean, he seemed to even know throughout the panel that he had pissed Matt off or that this might come back to bite him. He at one point apologizes to him out of character and then quickly switches back into character to pretend it didn't happen. So I don't know, probably just an off night for that guy where he didn't know what else to say. Don't know why he went for Matt McCusker's wife other than just being genuinely racist. And I guess the last thing that I'll say is I feel like there's an emerging trend of the Austin comedy scene and these racist comics that are gravitating to that scene in particular, focusing a lot on black people and anti-black humor. That seems to be something that they're coming back to consistently. They're really using it for like cultural cachet, you know, trying to stir up controversy over it, as Tony Hinchcliffe is doing. And so I feel like that's probably not going to go away, as well as incidents like this are also going to kind of amplify it. People are going to talk about this a decent amount, and there's going to be a certain contingent of people that are going to have their biases confirmed about black people or black women or whatever because of this. And I can imagine Joe Rogan saying something to that effect that makes the situation worse. So we'll see if anybody has anything funny to say about this going forward. I imagine it'll probably come up here and there. But yeah, I don't think the racism problem in the Austin comedy scene is going anywhere, at least not until a few more guys get punched in the face.
I'm in the pocket, and they know they can't slow it, can't stop shit. How the game so cold, so toxic. Can't drop cause they're in somebody's pocket. For me, that's not it.